I wonder how many people think of The Room when they go to see Room. They get a bunch of friends together. They're like, oh, yeah, I heard this movie was like so bad that it's really funny, but we're going to have so much fun, man. Let's bring some beers. No, this is Room, and it's a drama. Room is the story of a mother and her son living in, quite literally, a small room, and how they create a life for themselves living in such a confined space. Now, that might sound like a really vague synopsis, and there's a reason for that. This is a movie that you should know as little as possible about going into. Here's what you need to know. Room is unequivocally a character-based drama. It's not a thriller, it's not a horror movie, there's not a lot of exciting things that happen. It's not a fun movie to watch. There's a lot of heavy dialogue and a lot of imagery, and it's really just a story about a relationship between Ma and her son Jack. Now, that probably sounds unbelievably boring. Two people just living in a room? How can that be a movie? It sounds like watching paint dry. But here's the simple truth. Any story with the right characters and the right dialogue is a story worth telling. You could have the best, most creative, most imaginative concept in the world, but if you fill it with bad characters and bad writing, it doesn't work. But you can take any idea. You could take talking about bananas, and if you have good dialogue and good characters, it works. Bananas are yellow, dude. And they're like a curvy penis or something. Or, did you know bananas grow on trees and that they were green before they turn yellow? Did you know they have bananas in pajamas? And banana phones! While the main plot of Room sounds very straightforward, there are very complicated, thought-provoking themes going on under the surface. The story is told through Jack's eyes, who was born in Room and is now 5 years old. To him, the entire world is just this one room. He doesn't know there's anything else out there. It was a very unique representation of you're gonna believe what you're told when you're a kid. It's not until you're older that you can start to think on your own and realize that maybe everything you were taught when you were a kid isn't exactly true. Everyone remembers those conversations when you were a kid that went something like this. My mom says you shouldn't eat pudding. She said an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, my mom says that a snack pack a day keeps a heart attack away. Well, your mom is stupid. Room did something I really loved. It takes the typical cliches you always see in movies, but it does something different with it. There's so many times in the movie where you think you know exactly what's going to happen next, but it doesn't, and the movie is better served for it. Particularly right in the middle, there's a very climactic moment, and you think you know exactly what's going to go down and what's going to happen. But that's only at the halfway point. You think the movie's going to end, and there's a whole second half. And at first you just sit there and you say, this is a little strange. But as the movie moves forward, you realize that it was a really bold, brave choice, and it makes the movie that much better. Typically, there's two types of amazing movies. You have the massive spectacle ones, like your Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, that are filled with action and loud musical scores and intense moments. And then you have your smaller movies, like Room, that rely on strong characters and good dialogue. And Room was an outstanding smaller movie. Brie Larson was amazing in the film. She gave a very emotional, complex, subtle performance as Ma. I'd be shocked if she didn't win the Oscar. I think she absolutely deserves it, and I feel pretty comfortable saying she's gonna win. But Jacob Tremblay also deserves a ton of credit for playing her son Jack in the film. You know, in the first 5 minutes, you think that he might just be one of those annoying TV kid actors who just sort of whines and screams all the time. But man, as the movie moves forward, he gives an incredible, complex, emotional performance. And there's all these themes going on that for someone his age are just so beyond his years. It's amazing on his credit and the filmmakers that he was even able to comprehend what was going on and give the performance that he gave. I would have liked to see him get nominated for a Best Supporting Actor, but typically in Hollywood, that's just not the way it goes. Especially for that category, usually you see them give it to someone in the twilight of their career. Room is not a movie that you're going to pop in at home and have a really entertaining time with. But if you're in the mood for a beautiful story about a mother and her son with a ton of emotion and a ton of complex themes going on throughout it, then I definitely recommend it. If I was an Academy voter, Room would be getting my vote for the best picture of the year. Room receives the Medal of Honor. So Room, have you seen it? What did you think? Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see you later.